Ooh.
Happy Halloween! The cutesy and the scary.
It's always scary here. I love it so much.
A unicorn.
You're a cute unicorn. Your hair even matches. Oh, thank you, Bree.
Hello, Kaz. Hello, Sheila and Mary and Bree. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thank you. Everybody starting off the day very nicely.
I keep seeing the meme with Mariah Carey in ice, and it says, enjoy Halloween because she's defrosting.
Not a fan.
Tomorrow, bam, it's Christmas.
Oh, yes. Yes, and we'll hear nothing but that song now until probably the first. Hey, Rebecca, how are you? And Angela. I've seen some of the really lovely things that people have been posting out there for Halloween, and I think they're fabulous. They're posting their decorations, their costumes. They're just spooktacular stuff, and I just want to let you know I saw it all, and you guys were fabulous.
Did you see the Halloween costume that was the 3 Pyrex bowls?
No. I missed that one. One of my favorites was the vintage collector or reseller, and it was a flower. This kit includes a flower pop dress, and I was like, "What?"
I've seen like 4 or 5 different ones of those. I loved them all. They're all true. They were all fantastic.
I don't know if I saw yours, Angela. I'm gonna have to look.
I haven't seen it yet, Angela. We'll have to go.
I haven't seen it. No, that one I haven't seen. Who else had a fabulous one? Oh, Halen's was awesome.
Yeah. Hers was great.
I almost started singing Sweeney Todd just because it was that good. Hers was great. I'm trying to think who else had one.
I think my favorite is the Kitty Cat being the Frankenbox.
That was fun.
That was genius. It was genius. Yeah, I loved it.
Fun. Yes. I only saw the picture and it was great. So do you guys have things that you do for Halloween? Do like people come over? Do you go to parties? Do you just hand out candy? Or are you one of those people who puts a bowl out and realizes that the bowl is gone 5 seconds later?
No, because my dad was a preacher and we grew up uber religious.
Yeah.
I never went trick-or-treating my whole life. But then I married a man whose favorite holiday was Halloween. And so he used to take the kids around while I would sit and pass out candy on trick-or-treat night. And so the kids and I did some pretty fantastic things. Like we did a Halloween party one year, decorated the whole house, cobwebs on the ceiling with black lights, glow-in-the-dark spiders, and like we've just done some fantastic things. But now basically all I do is sit at the end of the driveway and pass out candy, and that's it.
Yeah, we used to do, when I lived in Salem, obviously it was a big deal, but I was always taking the kids out. So and the kids didn't come by my place anyways. Then I moved and now it's a big deal. Now it's, scare the kiddies and have fun. And I'm playing combination like voodoo doctor and just scary, creepy kind of being. The hat came from Michelle at Emancipation 300. It's a little big, but I love the hat. I mean, it's black and green, and look at the little skulls and the feathers. I've been waiting for an excuse to wear it. Oh, no kids. Yeah, see? Oh, no passing out candy either. I love the passing. I love seeing the little kids. And I had one kid who came to my door quite a few years ago, and I looked at them and I went,
"Hi, Delbert.
You're from camp. Percy Jackson, he had the camp Half-Blood shirt on and everything, and his mother went, "Thank you." Nobody knew who he was, and he was starting to get disappointed. I was like, "It says right on his shirt, Camp Half-Blood's one of my favorite book series." Of course, I knew who it was.
I have to tell you the best thing that happened yesterday. So we had all age ranges of kids. We had little ones that are moms or kids. A pregnant lady, like 9 months pregnant lady with a pumpkin t-shirt on. So the jack-o'-lantern face was right over her belly. That was fantastic. All the way up to teenagers, probably 15. And so one of the group of teenagers that came by, a lot of times teenagers won't even throw on a costume where they'll wear like an adult onesie. But this group, man, they came by and they were all dressed to kill. It was fantastic. But this one boy comes by and he's got a hot dog costume on. It's one of the air ones that blows up. And so he does the whole round. And then, I don't know, like about a half hour later, here comes a Spider-Man with the full Spider-Man mask on. And so we give him candy and then he rips off. He's like, "Ha ha, I was already here. Remember the hot dog?" He did the whole street twice.
I love it when people get I'll give you extra candy for creativity. I will.
He went home, did a full costume change, and went all the way around again.
Yep. I got no problem with that. I had 70-year-old trick-or-treat. I kid you not. They were in their 70s, retirees, dressed up as druids, knocked on my door and said trick-or-treat. And I went, "I got to give you candy."
I love that. I love it.
I will give candy to anybody who comes to my door if they have a costume on. I got no problem with your age. Not at all. Even if you're 70.
Oh, that kid made our day. That was hilarious.
That's great. I used to tell my kids to do that all the time. Go put on something else. I used to have a bucket of Halloween costumes. Go put on something else and then go back out and get more candy, dagnabbit.
Well, my poor Gabe, he was the youngest of my three. He had a growth spurt and grew taller than his brother, who was 4 years older, like the year that he was 11. And so he's taller than his brother, who's 15. He goes out with his friend who was older than him trick-or-treating, but his friend was like half his size. He hadn't had his growth spurt yet. And people were giving him a hard time.
Oh, that's horrible. No.
I'm like, don't do. And my niece, she was 6 feet tall by the time she was 12.
Yeah.
So just because they're tall does not mean they're too old to trick or treat. I hate that where people they're too old. Be glad they're not out doing drugs or getting pregnant or egging your house.
They're going out and they're having fun.
And 1 year of childhood.
That's right. And Rebecca, you're absolutely right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. Because you never know if you have a costume on, you get a piece of candy. That's just the way it works. He would serve himself dinner, go change t-shirts, and go through the dinner. That's good, Brie.
Oh, that's great.
That is awesome. Oh, goodness. And I mean, the weather here in the Northeast is not really all that conducive to trick-or-treating. It's 58 degrees right now. It's going to be chilly tonight, and it's cloudy.
My kids have trick-or-treated in sleet. They have trick-or-treated in snow, and they have trick-or-treated in a 70-degree day.
Yeah.
In the afternoon. So,
Delbert, that's funny. If you go to Salem, there are people out there who have Crocs full of spiked cider that they hand out to adults. And I used to take it. I'm like, "Yep, mommy needs a little pick-me-up if she's taking these little kids all around town. Mommy needs a pick-me-up. Give me that." My kids would go, "Oh, I'm thirsty." I'm like, No. This is adult drinks. You have your candy. We'll go buy a water or something. Oh, but it's snowed and sleeted, and we've actually had Halloween canceled a few times because the weather has been so snowy and bad.
Yeah.
That they had to cancel it. Yeah.
We've had the Halloween parade canceled, and I think because in my mom's neighborhood, and I've been bringing my kids to trick or treat, and now I pass out candy even though I don't have kids anymore. But for 24 years, because my oldest is 24, so we've done trick or treat in this neighborhood. We don't do it when the rest of the city does it.
Yeah, your neighborhood's different.
Suburbs. Yeah. So we have one long street here that I live on, and then the long street beside it that has a bunch of side streets. That's the whole So a lot of the kids, their parents will take them around in golf carts. There's one guy who has a wagon that he puts straw in, and he'll take a group around.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
like it's a big area to cover. Some kids walk it all. That one kid walked it twice like yesterday.
Wow. I love when when they bus people in, like you'll see them, the cars come into the neighborhood because we're like the only neighborhood in the town I live in pretty much. So the cars will come in and you'll see like 10 kids get it. It looks like a clown car. I'm like, I know that's not safe when you got 10 kids climbing out of a car to go trick or treating. But you know what? Bless them. Let them, if their parents are going to drive them around, awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
it's definitely safer in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I buy extra candy. Now this year, mom and dad bought it, but I buy extra candy. And some people are like, "Oh, we don't want other kids in our neighborhood." Let those kids have some candy. If their parents want to bring them all the way out here, what do you care? Like, I don't
Turn your light off.
I don't understand limiting age. I don't understand limiting the neighborhood they live in. I don't understand any of that. Let kids be kids, and this is a safe neighborhood. So if their parents want to haul them all the way over here, I bought extra candy for that. And when you run out of candy, turn off your light and go back in your house.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Go hide. Go hide.
I don't understand the attitude about it. Like,
I know. Some
people get so mad about it.
But we have fun stuff planned for today. We have some fun stuff for trick-or-treating.
Yes, we do.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to show you items. We're going to sell items. And if you buy something, you get to be entered in the trick-or-treat game. So if you buy something from me, you'll play my trick-or-treat game. If you buy something from Claudia, you'll play her trick-or-treat game. And the trick-or-treat is, even if you lose and you get a trick, you still get a little something, all right? If you get a treat, you get to pick a little bigger something. That's just cool. That will add to your box for trick-or-treat, adult trick-or-treating vintage style, I guess is what we'll call it. Also got a couple of fun little trivia questions. So this is going to be a little bit more interactive. So I hope you all enjoy the show, because we're probably going to have a couple more of these because we got holidays coming up. So Claudia and I are going to have to be a little creative. Although nothing is as fun as this, as far as I'm concerned.
Now, see, I think Christmas is the most fun. But
Christmas is fun, but Halloween, you get an excuse to look like a fool and not have to worry about it the next day.
Yeah, well, I like to dress up all the time anyway. So.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I will go to the grocery store wearing a tiara. I got no problem with it.
I probably, after this, will not have time to take this off. I got to run out really quick. I got to get some wine for tonight, so I might be wandering into the liquor store looking like a creepazoid. It's Halloween.
My daughter had to work today, so she took a whole tub of candy with her, and she calls me. She's like, "None of the customers want a piece of candy."
Nowadays,
and it was good. It was like Reese's, and it wasn't like it was cheap candy. It was the good candy, and she's like, "No one's taken a piece of candy yet."
Aww. All right. So this week we're also learning about Indiana glass, because we did this weird crossover thing between last week and this week, and we realized that the two things were intertwined. E.O. Brody and Indiana glass ended up by being intertwined. So we're going to jump right into it. So here we go. Indiana glass. Oh, excuse me. And you're going to see this with a lot of, we keep bringing this up, and I guess because it was kind of a big deal. The late 1800s, there was this huge discovery of natural gas and how great it was. They ended up by petering most of this out very quickly after it was found. So this created a big period of economic boom in East Central Indiana. And then the railroad came through, which we all know was a really big deal in the United States in the late 1800s. But what happened was there was this large structure that was built and never ever used. So the building got taken over by a man named George Beatty and James Brady, who started the Beatty Brady Company. Why the devil am I talking about the Beatty Brady? Jeez Louise, that's hard to say. Glass Company. Woo, it's because they were part of the National Glass Company. Now, we've talked a lot about the National Glass Company and U.S. Glass Company. They were big conglomerates that had smaller glass making underneath them, smaller glass making companies underneath them. And the Beatty Brady Glass Works in Dunkirk, Indiana was one of them. Now, what happened was Mr. Beatty was arrested in Portland on 6 different complaints, all having to do with anti-union activity. Now, that was a really big deal in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Workers were fighting for their rights. Go workers. So in November 1899, that glass company was sold to the National Glass Company, and they stayed there for a little bit, but not for very long. Now, this was the making of Indiana Glass, because enter this guy right here. January 22nd, 1904, National Glass announced that they were going to shrink because they were having, financial issues. So the Beatty Brady plant was leased to this man here, Frank W. Merry. He became the owner of Indiana Glass. So Indiana Glass was born. Now, it wasn't born right away because there is some debate still as to when technically Indiana Glass started. But he was the president of the company from 1909 to 1931 and actually employed quite a few people. Now, officially, most people recognize as Indiana Glass began production in 1907. So this is one of their letterheads from the 20s. Really cool. Thought I'd show you guys that. And then the picture on the other side is actually a man who worked in Indiana, in Dunkirk, Benjamin Gift, and he had a patent for this glass making machine. So I thought it'd be neat to show you guys how they actually did this pressed glass, like what this machine kind of looked like. And this is what it looked like, because we never know until we show. So we'll continue on here. Click. Okay, there we go. So next we have the early products included depression glass, which were in huge amounts. Indiana Glass was a very large producer of depression glass, carnival glass, which we'll talk about later, and goofus glass. So there's some goofus glass down there on the bottom left. I came across some a couple of weeks ago in a flea market, and man, I wanted to buy it, but it was so beat up. Goofus glass is very cheaply made, and then they would paint that on, and that paint just wears off very easily, unfortunately. So here is Indiana Glass's early American pressed glass, 1900 to 1930. Here are a couple of their more popular patterns. They're really, really pretty. So they would have been made in that machine, which is kind of really, really neat. I really like this Bethlehem Star picture. I think it's super pretty. So then we move on to their big story. The real story with them begins in 1923 when Indiana Glass introduced a pattern of glassware called avocado or sweet pears. It's the one on the upper left over there. And it was considered to be, at least according to this one site, the very first depression glass pattern. I don't know, but that's what they say. It had made it for 11 years in 4 colors, in green, pink, crystal, white, and milk glass. Oh, Goofus glass is so pretty, Brie. It really is. So the one on the bottom here is their horseshoe pattern. The one on the upper right, now there's some confusion in this one if it's the garland pattern or the bananas pattern. I think it's the bananas pattern, but I really want this pyramid pattern. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't that stunning? I marked that in my book.
Oh my gosh. I want to see other pictures because I love that so much. All right, more depression glass. So another popular thing by Indiana were their little hen on nests. They did them in the 1930s. They did little ones and they did big ones. So some of their depression glass patterns were Vernon, Lorraine, Pineapple and Floral, Old English, Tea Room, Frosted Black, which they made in 1915, but I could not find it. So that was a hard one. Cracked Ice, Sandwich Glass, and Indiana Custard Glass. So that's almost 10 different pieces of depression glass, which Indiana was known for reproducing and reproducing and reproducing in later years. Okay, moving along to the a little bit earlier of mid-century. So this is glass produced from 1940 to 1970. I love that Christmas candy pattern.
Yeah, I marked that page in my book too because it was so cool, the edges.
Yes, I love the edges of that. So the Christmas candy, their teardrop, which I really want that teardrop in that frosted matte black. Magnolia, Orange Blossom, and Park Lane. Now, their Park Lane came in 2 different kind of styles. They had the Colony Park Lane, and then they had their Park Lane with arches. And this is like Park Lane with arches, and it's flashed with ruby, but it's still really stunning. It's really a pretty glass piece. Okay. Now here we're going to talk about the carnival glass. I could not find in my carnival glass book any antique carnival glass made by Indiana. What you will find all over the place is all of that 1970s carnival glass was mostly Indiana glass. They just reproduced every pattern they had, threw some luster on it, threw that little shine on it, and revived the carnival glass. So this is new carnival glass. It's still vintage, but it's not the antique stuff. All right. Here is their most popular pattern here, the Harvest Grape. I don't like this pattern at all, but that's me. That's just me. You know what? I'm over the grape thing. Let's leave the grape. Now that could change in 10 years, and I'm like, oh, I love grapes. Not right now. But this pattern was introduced, and they made it in the glass such as milk glass a decade or so earlier. Once again, Indiana glass is known for just repeating their patterns, which does nothing but irritate collectors. All right. In 1957, the Lancaster Lens Corporation acquired a controlling interest in Indiana Glass, and a month later, they changed their name to the Lancaster Glass Corporation. Now, they own Tiara exclusives. Now, we've heard of Tiara Glass, Tiara exclusives. It was sold kind of like a lot of, Indiana did make some of their glass, and it was sold similar to like Tupperware back in the day, like in the 70s. I think they shut down in 98. And they would sell through catalogs, and they would just reproduce, once again, old patterns. I want this clock, by the way. So now Claudia is going to tell you about that, a little bit more about the tiara thing, because it's fun.
So I have a bunch of different books on depression glass, because originally that was my very first collection. But this one by Gene Florence in 1990, he talks specifically about Indiana Glass continuing to make reproductions, and he gets pretty angry about it. Like, he uses a lot of all capitals when he's talking about it. It's pretty funny. So he's talking about avocado glass here in this paragraph, and you can see there's a lot of capitalized words there because he's pretty angry about it. So what Indiana Glass did was continue to use the same molds from the time they started in 1907?
Yeah, 1907, yeah.
Through the 1980s, they never changed their molds. They kept using the same molds. And so when they started, and I always thought Tiara Glass was synonymous with Indiana Glass, and they're not. They were a totally separate company. They had 3 different glass companies that provided their glass. Indiana Glass provided most of their glass. Fenton did some, and then there was a third company. I can't remember which. But Tiara was totally separate. It wasn't, I always thought they were synonymous. So not synonymous, but they kept producing these pieces. And when Tiara was selling them, like the new avocado, this is the avocado pattern, not the color. The avocado pattern, they were making these from the same molds as the early 1900s. And they were telling people that these, the tiara seller would go into the home, host the party. And they were telling people that these were collectible because they were made with the same molds. Except they had 0 age on them. They'd rolled off the manufacturing line, the week before. And the colors, sometimes they didn't change the colors hardly at all. So the green, they reproduced, but if it glows, it's original to the Depression era. If it doesn't glow, they're new. They did the same thing with the sandwich glass through Tiara. Nice. And so if you find a green sandwich that glows, that's collectible. Now, when this book was written in 1990, this stuff Tiara had been in production since the 70s. Yeah. And so it wasn't even vintage yet. So he was very adamant that this stuff was not collectible. Now it is collectible. It's 2022. It's, 40 years after 30 years after this book was written, it is starting to become collectible because pieces have broken. It's not in production anymore. But back then he was like mad that Indiana Glass continued to produce these pieces without changing the molds, and sometimes in very similar colors. So they had produced this in the early 1900s, the avocado pattern specifically in
avocado and sweet pear.
In
it's the same thing. Yeah.
Pink, green, crystal, and white. So crystal was your clear.
Gold.
And so then they produced it in the 70s in pink, and they changed the pink just slightly. Frosted pink, yellow, blue, red, amethyst, and green. The greens look almost identical, except one will glow and one will not. So he felt that they were really doing a disservice to collectors by continuing to produce these same patterns with the same molds and sometimes the same colors. They were indistinguishable. He wrote a whole thing about the color crystal because he was so angry. There is no way to tell if a piece was produced in 1920 or 1980.
Yeah.
In the crystal. Same molds. It's clear.
And no mark.
And so he felt that it really, no mark. He felt it really devalued all of it. And he in this particular issue, he was going to drop the crystal completely because he just felt like it was not collectible in any way whatsoever. And he was tired of trying to give values to it in the book. He felt like it was a waste of his time. So like he was angry.
Indiana glass can be difficult to date because they did keep using the molds all the way down. Now, I will say this. Yes, I'm totally agreeing with you, Angela. I want that clock too. If you look up Tara exclusive stuff, they have some really cool, interesting pieces, like the clock that's glass and then it's something else. So they do have these really neat, interesting pieces that I do think will catch on eventually, like Tupperware has started to, and Pyrex, and things that were sold in the homes or by ladies in the home.
Hostess exclusives,
yes,
which had a limited production. So Hostess exclusive is going to be far more collectible than just like the sandwich glass that they produced. I mean, they produced it for over 60 years in clear.
I had a piece with one little freckle.
And I'll tell. And they weren't the only ones producing sandwich glass.
No.
Hawking produced sandwich glass, but Hawking stopped producing it. So it is Depression era if it's Hawking, and they only ever reissued some, I think it was a pitcher, and they changed it.
Yes.
They changed it so the mold wasn't the same, so you knew it was a reproduction. Indiana glass didn't. They just kept reproducing. So everything they produced in the 20s, they produced again in the 70s, sometimes in a different color, but not always. So Gene Florence had nothing, and he's the expert on glass. He didn't have anything nice to say about Indiana glass, just in general. He really
Indiana glass made it very difficult, and hence their demise. Like one slide less will do their demise. In 1977, they went from being like the first rank all the way down to fifth. And it's just their sales were just horrible. And pretty much by 2007, it was all over. Indiana Glass and E.O. Brody were sold to Monterey Capital Partners, and those two new acquisitions then merged with Anchor Hawking. So this over here, this picture on the left is another Tiara Exclusives picture. It's a gorgeous picture. It really is. And it does have a paper label. Now, I cannot say that all of the Tiara Exclusives have a paper label, but it looks like some of them might have had labels. So if you're lucky,
they paper labeled a lot of them.
You can get that. But Indiana didn't emboss. Like Fenton got talked into changing their little logo every decade, so you knew when you were getting things. There just wasn't that same.
Indiana Glass never cared about collectors.
No.
Or the fact that someday in the future their stuff might be collectible. So they didn't mark anything. They didn't change anything.
Yeah.
They didn't make this. They didn't care. They wanted to mass produce glass and get as much of it out of there as possible and make money in the moment. They did not care that someday this might be a collectible item.
Very, very true. All right. So I have mostly Indiana Glass. Do you have anything else to add to their Indiana discussion?
Well, Sheila had said, why are so many resellers against grapes? Oh. I agree. I don't know why. So I have some things. I like them. I collected my sister a whole set of the Indiana Glass grape pattern stuff. I have found my niece the stuff in the carnival glass because she does carnival glass in the grape pattern. I don't know why. I know Jeffrey, he hates the gray pattern. He will go off about he hates it. I don't know why. I like the gray pattern. There's nothing wrong. I got one of my candy dishes up there is the gray pattern. I've got nothing against the gray pattern.
It's overdone to a certain extent. There was so much of the grape thing in the 70s, just like the stupid geese in the 80s that we all had to deal with, that it was just overdone. There are some pieces I don't mind it. I'm like, oh, I really wish that it didn't have the grapes, but I love the color, I love the shape of the piece, so I'm okay with it. But there are some people who like it. Yes. I think I can put the name on the glass sold after the no. E.O. Brody glass still says Brody glass.
Hi, Becky.
Indiana glass, I don't think they did. But E.O. Brody glass still has, even now, it does say E.O. Brody, or it'll say Brody. The name has changed slightly, but they still do that.
The only thing that I had to add was that for some reason, they also did a lot of patterns that looked exactly alike. So the daisy pattern looks a lot like the sandwich pattern, which both look like the pineapple and floral pattern. So you have to really dig deep.
Yeah.
And I want to caution you when buying on eBay, Etsy, Mercari, wherever, to really do your own research and not depend on Google, and definitely don't depend on eBay, because you get on eBay and a lot of Indiana glass is marked as something else.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be marked as, I saw things when I was looking yesterday that were marked Anchor Hocking. Or Anchor Hocking pieces that were marked Indiana. It seems like people have a couple of default companies. If they can't figure out what it is, that they always say, well, this is it.
Yeah.
And, you're making a good guess at a company that produces a lot of glass, so you might be right, but don't believe what you see. And like I said, with the sandwich pattern, that was made by a couple of different companies. So
go to replacements.com. That's probably the most easiest one to find a particular pattern, because you can type it in. I got fooled. I've been holding up, and I've shown them a few times, these little berry bowls that I swore were Westmoreland. Oh, they're not. They were Indiana glass. They were Indiana milk glass wild rose. I didn't know this until I did my research. So,
yeah, and the other thing we didn't mention today, although we've mentioned it a lot in the past, is that Indiana Glass made a lot of Homeco's products.
Yes, that's right.
So a lot of fairy lamps, a lot of votive holders, they were Indiana Glass made for Homeco. So the imprint on the bottom will say Homeco. They were made by Indiana Glass.
Yeah. And they did sell their glass in Kmart. Indiana Glass was in Kmart. They had a deal with Kmart. And when Kmart went belly up, that kind of just did them in too. But yes, it always is. It always is. What I try to do now is I type in a pattern and I look for replacements.com. I'll look for Collectors Weekly. I don't have WorthPoint, or I look at WorthPoint. And there's a few others.
A lot of times, though, WorthPoint, it just has the eBay listing. And
that's true.
But still not proper information. Especially look for the Glass Museum websites. You get a ton of great information off of that. And sometimes there are specific, like Fenton has their own
they do.
museum-ish website, but sometimes it's just like National Glass Collectors, and they'll talk about everything. So you want to, I'm a buy it if you love it. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm a buy it if you love it. But if you're looking for something specific, if you're looking for specific companies, specific pattern, do not believe what you see on eBay. Make sure you do your research. You know your patterns.
Yeah. I don't understand that, Angela. Maybe it just flew over my head because my brain's been a little mushy. But hey, how you doing, Helen? There are helpful on Facebook, yes. And I have on Instagram, when I first started, I found this one piece and I could not for the life of me, no matter what picture I took, get a picture that showed me what it was. And I put it out there on Instagram and said, all right, if anybody knows what this is, please let me know. And it took a while, but somebody finally knew what it was and told me what it was. And I was like, I just typed in the wrong keywords. Oh, chat about the pressure. Thank you. I was like, okay, that might have flown over my head.
All right, let's sell some Indiana glass.
Let's sell some Indiana glass. Let's all right. But while Claudia's going to show hers, I'll do it at the end. I'll do it at the end. I got trivia questions. We'll do it at the end. Nope.
You can throw them in there. Every time you come up, you can throw a.
That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, do my trivia. Now, don't forget about the trick or treat game we're playing.
So if you purchase today, you will get. I'll hold up letter cards. You get to pick which letter card you want. One will be a trick. One will be a treat. If you get a treat, you get to pick a brooch. If you get a trick, you get one of my stickers sent along with your purchase. So you get something either way.
Yeah.
Very first item, tiara glass. So this would have been a set of 4. They have nursery rhymes on them. I just have a single glass. I had it hanging on the wall because we all know I love amber glass. But now that I've moved, I have no wall space. So this one is This Little Piggy Went to Market. And it's this size. It's darling. If you have grandchildren, how cute would that be to serve their afternoon snack? Because use the pretty things. And you can find these. They're not like hard to find. So it's not like, oh, they broke it. It can't ever be replaced. We just talked about how much stuff Indiana glass made. It'll probably be another 50 years before Indiana glass is super collectible just because of the amount that is available still. So this little plate is $6, number 11. No chips, no cracks. It's in really good condition. Amber, super pretty. My next is
Edward.
A choice. These are all $8. So all Indiana glass. This is the honeycomb pattern. These were relish dishes. So you have your choice of either of these or the Loganberry dish, candy dish. And if you want sizes, I can measure these for you.
See, now remember I was telling you I had the hardest time getting a good picture. The Loganberry was the one I was trying to get a good picture of it, but I couldn't find one online.
Yeah. I need this in amber. I don't know if they made it in amber, but
I think I saw some in amber online.
My mom's got this one in clear. My niece has this one in
Carnival.
So it's your choice for $8. Any one of these. And that is number 20. Number 20. And those are my first 2.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Trivia question time. Michael Myers' mask was based on what famous actor? And in case you don't know, Michael Myers is the guy from Halloween. So the famous Halloween mask, whose face was that really that he was wearing? Who knows the answer to that?
I read that one time, and now I don't remember.
And I'm going to say this. This chat should know the answer to that question because we talked about some of this stuff a couple of weeks ago. There we go. Angela got it. William Shatner.
Yes.
Whoop, whoop. That's all right. I like the way you spelled it there. Love it. Okay, so my trick or treat is.
Oh, there's Kitty Cat. Hi, Kathy.
Hey, kids. Mariah Carey.
We were talking about how your costume, Kathy, is my favorite out of everybody's costumes I saw yesterday. The Frankenbox was genius.
It was good. So you're going to pick a number between 1 and 7 is what I got going on right now, and you will win. If you get a trick, you'll get to keep the little card. These are my creepy babies because I find kids kind of creepy. So you'll get to keep the old antique photo card. And if you win and you get a treat, you'll get to pick a prize off the tray to sit in your little box. Oh, goodness gracious. That little banjo boy doesn't want to stand up. He's going to have a smashed-in face by the time this is over. Okay. So up first, I have Indiana Glass, Diamond Point, Amber, Fairy Lamp. We know them. We love them. Who remembers these on tables when you used to go out and eat? I know John does. That's one of the reasons why we picked this up. The restaurant he used to work at when he was a kid used to have these on every table. So no chips, no cracks. It's in really good condition. Really great condition, really fun. I like the diamond points myself for lights because of the way it refracts and reflects the lights. In Italian restaurants, absolutely.
I
That's
do
where they
not
were.
have one of these yet. I
No?
have like 6 or 7 amber fairy lamps, but I do not have a diamond point yet. I saw that in your pyramid. I'm like, you're good.
So if you're interested in the diamond point amber, it'll be $20, number 78. $20 and number 78 on that one. Yeah, I remember all these little things. Now they're just different. We still get the little lights on the table. They're just not as fancy as they used to be. My opinion. Now, it's not all Indiana glass today. I do have this lovely little boho piece. So I'm getting real. Oh, I see Rebecca. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Rebecca, you get to pick a number.
I cannot believe you're giving up something peacock, by the way. I saw
I
that in your
know.
preview too, and I was like, what?
I know. All right, Rebecca, pick a number between 1 and 7. 1 and 7. Pick a number, 1 to 7. And we'll see if you want a trick or a treat. We'll give her a few seconds. But yes, I am giving up my peacock vase. It's too white for my room. A little too white. Number 7. All right, here it is. There's your creepy little girl. And did you get a trick or a treat? You got a treat. Yay! So, Rebecca, you get to pick from the treat tray. The treat tray. All right, so I've got a little banjo baby. He's the one who keeps taking a digger. Got a little German Shepherd with a little baby German Shepherd. Yeah, he's cute. And he's only got one little baby, though. So, one little baby. We've got, let's see, a pumpkin spice tin. We've got some, little couple. We've got a little tiny bud vase, a rabbit trinket box. Or you can pick and I didn't realize this when I got this little brooch. In the center, there's the Mother Mary is actually in the center of the little brooch. Sorry, my light's really bright. Or a shell necklace. So if you see something on the tray that you would like, just pick it out, put it in the chat, give it a little descriptor, and I'll throw it in your box for free because you won a treat. Woo-hoo! Okay, so I'll put this down.
Happy Halloween.
Hey, Geneva. And while Rebecca's thinking, I will move on to the next item. Okay. So, next up, the brooch. The brooch is going home to you. You got it. Awesome sauce. Congrats. My peacock. Here's my peacock vase. There we go. It's got the transfer of the peacock on there. And it's white satin glass. It's got the gold rim on the top, which is in really good condition there. That's just a little piece of tape. I have to take that out. And it is it signed on the bottom? I don't know. Maybe it's just sticker residue. I thought it was a signature. So this vase is standing, let's see, just under 11 inches. And the transfer actually is in really good condition. It's very, very boho-y. There we go. That's it. Pretty little vase. So if you're interested in my little peacock vase, it's going to be $12, number 73. $12, number 73. And those are my two. Let me flip Miss Claudia back over there.
All right. My next item goes with my outfit. It's pink. And it's a larger. I saw this as a nappy dish, but it's a pretty large nappy dish. The biggest one I've ever seen, if you want to call it a nappy dish. But it's got the cherries and the flowers. It's got this gorgeous pattern on the back. So I had this hung on the wall this way so that you could see this.
Yeah.
Super pretty. The pink is really, really pretty pink. It's not that peachy pink. It's a pink. So the cherry nappy, $10, number 8. $10, number 8. And if you guys could see, I never got around to getting a picture of all of the glass sitting here, but the different greens that they made over the years, just amazing. So I've got all these different greens sitting here in front of me. This one is my darkest green.
Oh my God, I love that.
Is the Mount Vernon candy dish. Price on this one's not going to be too bad because the inside has some chippy chips, which just means it was loved and used.
That's right.
So I will show you this part, and this part did not have any chips on it. There's no chips on the base. The chips are on the inside of the lid. And then, is there any rough? No, it's all inside. It's very chipped inside. Lots and lots of flea bites. I don't know. You probably can't even see it.
I can't see them.
But it's completely covered. So when the lid is on, you don't see all of that. And the top is not chipped, because a lot of times the top was chipped on these. This one stands 10 inches tall with the lid on. And I love that it's got this square base.
Yeah, I like the square base.
Yeah, I love it when it's got a round shape and then a square base. Yeah. I just love that. So as long as you weren't taking the lid off, you wouldn't even know it was chipped. And since this isn't chipped, you're still not going to see the little flea bites on the inside. Like you can't even, you can feel them. We'll say that. You can feel them. So because of the flea bites on the inside of the lid, it's only $12. $12, number 10. And those are my two. And thanks for hanging out with us on Halloween, guys.
I know.
It's so much fun.
It is a lot of fun. Trivia country. In what country did Halloween originate? What country did Halloween originate? There's some debate on this, so there could be two right answers. All right.
I feel like I should know that one.
I'm bringing it in. And look at Angela's on fire. It's Ireland. It's Ireland. And it was called Samhain, and it's spelled Samhain. And you'll still hear people pronounce it Samhain, but it's a Samhain.
Yep.
Yeah, Ireland is the right answer. Now, what we know of as Halloween really is in the United States, but there is some room for debate to be saying that Scotland was up there too. So I have two candy dishes, and let me tell you, I put them next to each other, and they're so much fun sitting next to each other. So just Claudia has a nice collection of these as well. So I didn't realize how pretty all these different pedestal candy dishes could be sitting next to each other.
Such a gorgeous display.
Oh, so this is their Diamond Point candy dish. I'm going to take the dang top off. Now this has no flea bites. So this was not as well used. It probably just sat there. It has like a little disco ball on the pedestal part, which I love. Now I have another one that's just like this. I'm not selling it today, but it's just like this. But it doesn't have the top. This one has the top. Now this is 13 inches from bottom to top. The top has a really cool little point on it. And the repeating disco ball. There's nothing wrong with cheating. I know most people just be looking that up on Google anyways. Although I took the test last night and I got every question right but two. This extra and I was like, no, that's not the right answer for that one. They goofed that up. That's the way I felt anyways.
I popped in and said hi to the Chatty Cathy's, but I went to bed. All three of them were kitties. It was great. They all had little kitty ears, little whiskers. But I missed the trivia because I went to bed.
Oh. So if you're interested in the first candy dish, this is the small one. I have an enormous one coming up next. It's going to be $20, number 85. $20, number 85 for that one.
And these clear glass ones are, everyone needs a good clear glass candy dish, guys. Because not only can you put candy in it, you can change out the color for the season. You can also store crystals in them, which I had crystals in mine. You can put decorations in them, so you could put little you can buy at the Dollar Tree like little craft decoration, so you put little pumpkins in it with fairy light, and then at Christmas you put the little tiny balls in with fairy lights, and you can do that for every season, every month. Everybody needs a good clear glass dish, and
if these don't sell, these will be sitting out at Christmas time with my candies in them. Hey Pat, and this is the big boy. I'm gonna have fun packing this up. This is 17 inches from bottom to top. Now this does have the ruby flash, but the ruby flash is in perfect condition. And like that almost never happens. So once again, and let me tell you, just in the light, this is like a disco ball. Y'all can't see it on the camera, but I'm looking through it and it is all these little prisms of rainbow goodness. So here is the bottom. It's an enormous wine glass too. Angela, I'm looking at you. It's an enormous wine.
We ought to do that one night. We're all just sitting around drinking out of our enormous.
I don't see why not.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the top is exactly the same as the other one, which is really cool. So these is a pair, and they're no. Oh, I'm always going to call you out, girl, because you're my only other friend who likes to do silly things like that. I will sit and drink out of this just for fun.
Oh, shit.
But no chips, no cracks, no, not even any flea bites down in here, which is really cool. Like I said, this is a two-hander. You pick this up. This is a two-hander. So 17 inches from bottom to tippy top. And a really good price on this one, because if you're interested, it's just $22, number 74. $22, number 74. Wow, this thing is gorgeous in the light. And those, oh goodness, are my teeth. We're going to put Miss Claudia back up.
So my super tall one is green.
Oh, well, hold on. Time out. We have to do a winner. We have to do a winner chicken dinner. And that would look great next to mine. Okay, yippee-i-o. Pick a number between 1 and 6. 1 and 6. And you will win a prize. I think it would hold one of those Magnum wine bottles. You pour the whole wine bottle in there. Yep. Pick a number between a 1 and 6. And you win a prize.
Can
Well, you
pull
could
up
win a prize.
to that again? Because I think ours are a different pattern.
I will. Okay, here's number 3. The baby. And you get, oh, a trick. Oh, I'm sorry. But I will say this. Thank you, Kathy. If there's extra stuff at the end, we're going to just throw it in there and have fun. I'm pretty sure they're both, I think diamond point is what it kind of looks. Oh, the tops? Oh,
Yeah,
the tops
see?
is slightly
They're
different.
different.
Yeah.
Because
they are.
this one keeps getting called diamond point, but it's not.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Yes. There we go.
So
Okay.
on eBay, this one is listed as diamond point, but it looks more like a quilted pattern than diamond point. This absolutely does not look like the diamond point that is on that one that you've got, or even on like the fairy lamp. It's just not.
No, but it's bigger. If that makes like the diamonds are bigger,
Yep. And they've got there's the flat part. They're not pointed. They're flat. So it's gorgeous. Gorgeous. It does have a manufacturer's flaw because there was a bubble right there. So there's an extra little bit of glass right there. So that is not a chip. There's a bubble in the glass and there's an extra piece of glass. So yeah, there you can see it. But no chips, no cracks. And let me feel.
I love this color though.
No dings from people using it. So it probably wasn't used. It was just set as a.
It's set in somebody's cabinet.
Yeah, or in a corner. It's just a delightful piece to look at. Now the green on this, I'll show you. This is it's like a bright summer green.
It looks like a fun green. Yeah.
Because here's the Mount Vernon. Here is this one. The green's totally different. Totally different.
And these, especially the pedestal candy dishes, I really like them sitting next to each other so much.
Mm-hmm.
But Claudia knows that she owns them.
I had more green candy dishes than any other color because green is my favorite color. Plus, from uranium to avocado, I love green. So, without the lid on, this piece is just over 10.5 inches. With the lid on, it is 15.5 inches tall.
Oh, so it's in between my two. That's perfect for a height thing.
So absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. This green is just, I love it. $40, number 17. $40, number 17 on that one. And then my cat just climbed into a box. It's empty because I brought it in from the garage to package something and it was too big. And now she's sitting in it. My second item is actually choice. So, first one, this one's the princess candy dish. This is a different green than the other two I just showed you. Totally different one. The wonderful thing about these princess candy dishes, they're stackable.
Yeah.
So you could get several of them. And I did not know that because I've passed up ones without the lid before. I had no idea that they were stackable. So that you could put rings in one, necklaces in another, and earrings in another. Like, gorgeous. And these did come in clear. I've seen them in the clear before without the lids. I had no idea. I should have been picking them up all this time. So it's got a little lip here, so it would stack onto another one. And let me show you.
And I love this, another pretty pattern.
There are some flea bites on the edge, so this was absolutely used, probably as a candy dish. But no cracks, no chips at all, no cracks at all, but no chips around the lid, just around this part. So when the lid's on, you don't see it. The point is nice and good. Gorgeous point on that. So that's first one. This is for choice. The next one is yellow.
Oh, people have amber and pink and
yeah, yellow glass. And this one is called the constellation pattern.
Yellow glass is actually kind of hard to find.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
Does not glow. It's just yellow glass. The feet are in perfect shape. We all love a good foot on this channel. So yes, this 3-footed candy dish. And then, and no cracks in any of this. This one, I'm not feeling, maybe a flea bite on the edge, but I'm not really feeling anything. It's this size. So it's choice. This one for the, let's see if I can hold both these up. Princess one, they're going to be $15 each. And the number is 14.
Number 14.
Those are my two.
I did not know that about the princess pattern. Now I'm going to be looking for them because I can think of so many like fun uses, like in the kitchen and in the bathroom
without the lids because I was like, I was missing lid. No, they were stackable.
I think that's
cool.
Were
made without the lids. Didn't know.
Awesome. I like the cranberry one. I know the cranberry piece behind Claudia's shoulder is.
Yeah, I'm not selling those.
Yeah, I know you're not. Those are the ones she picked to keep. Okay, next up I have a piece of depression glass. This is depression pink. This is the Manhattan pattern. And look, I got feet. Hey, Maria, happy Halloween. We all love the good feeties. So it's got little balls. It's a 3-balled basket. All right, joking. It does have seams, and it's just a little tiny bowl. Manhattan pattern, depression glass. I love my depression glass. You all know this. So if you're interested in this piece, it's going to be $10, number 93. $10, number 93 on that one. And this next piece, I think is Indiana, but I am not 100% certain. And it definitely needs a little TLC, a little, oh my goodness, what? When you leave a sticker in your thing and you don't mean to. There we go. It's my sticker, but that's okay. So it is like 2-tone. So we've got clear kind of frosted glass around the outside, look like little horseshoes. And then this really neat, almost periwinkle blue on the inside. And it's a casket. What better to sell on Halloween than a candy casket? And it's almost frosted at the top too. Some of the frosting I think is slightly flashed. So it looks like, if I do it this way, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Oh, I can see it. It looks like it's kind of coming off. It's getting worn off, but it's an interesting little piece. Now, if this was in black, this would not be leaving the house. If it was in green, it probably wouldn't leave the house either. I don't have this color in my house. So it's a fun little periwinkle blue candy dish. Now, let me see. I don't think I felt any. No, believe it or not, there are no flea bites in the inside. It's just a little, and I really wish I could get it. Oh, you can kind of see it right here. Right there, the frosting, the frosted bit. Maybe I've scrubbed this thing a few times. Maybe I gotta try something different. I don't know. Dawn dish soap just doesn't seem to be doing it. So because of that, it's just gonna be $12, number 75. $12 at number 75 for my candy casket. And it is so fun to say casket on Halloween. Oh, and red
Helen had
and
the
green.
same one in red and green. Pretty.
The green one I would totally keep, and probably the red one too, if I'm honest, for like Christmas and stuff. And hello, everybody, if we missed you, hello, thank you. Oh, I forgot the trivia question. Okay, hold on. According to the original story, what was the first jack-o'-lantern ever made of? What was the first jack-o'-lantern? And Claudia will show her pieces.
I know this one.
Yes, this one's a fun one.
And if you're just coming in, I took it off because it was hot, but I'm a unicorn.
Oh, I saw it. And you got it right, Kathy. Picasso Cat got it. A turnip. Yep. And Geneva got it. Yep. A skull.
All right. My next one.
Oh my gosh.
And this was tiara. So I cannot say that it was Indiana because, as we learned, tiara glass was made by 3 different companies, just depended on the item. So there are no dings to this one. Let me double check. Yeah, no dings to this one at all. And this pink is not, this is more of a peachy pink. Then I'll show you the piece I had in the beginning to give you a color difference.
It's something about that color.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. It's got the strawberries on it, but it really does, even without the strawberries, suggesting it make me think of strawberry jam.
Is it just strawberries? Are there birds on it?
Strawberries and leaves.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's
because they did make a strawberry and bird pattern, so I was wondering if that was it.
This is just the strawberries, no birds. Strawberries and leaves. It's just, and they did such good. If you look at all of the candy dishes I've got sitting here, every one of them is different, and they're all just beautiful. They just did such beautiful little tops on all of them, so they look really cool when displayed together. This one stands 9.5 inches tall, so much shorter than the big tall green one. It is $20, number 3. $20, number 3.
And Becky, it is marked, but it's marked usually by a paper sticker, the tiara glass.
And I've had really good luck in finding tiara glass still in box.
Yes.
So it's clearly tiara glass.
Yes.
And then I've got another choice. The lily celery dish. Let's see that. These don't look like lilies to me, but this is what I saw it listed as everywhere. So here, maybe if I had done further deep dive, I would have discovered that this is actually called something else, but it was listed as lily everywhere. So celery dish.
Actually, it is. It looks like a water lily, like the water lilies that open up. Like, that's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Well, or a divided plate. These are not super uncommon. Like
I have that one,
but I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, no chips, no cracks on either piece. And
great for veggies.
$8 for each. Number 6. And those are my 2.
Great for veggies. I thought I used mine for split all my veggies up. Or cheese and crackers.
I don't think I said hi to Yippee, and I don't think I said hi to Kitty. And so, hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Thanks for with us today. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Okay, what famous magician actually died on Halloween? Didn't know this. I can't believe I didn't know this one. Well, it was the way it was worded when I found it. Okay. The pink one, please. No. So, what famous magician died on Halloween? That's this round's trivia question. Angela is on fire. Whoop, whoop. And so is Bree and the cat. Look at everybody get that one right. I didn't know that one, but it was the way they worded the question. They said, what famous person? And they gave you a choice of 4 people. I'm like, there's no way it was Houdini. That's just too obvious. Very good, guys. Okay, this round I have, it's Halloween. I brought a cat. Oh, did you? I brought a cat. This is a cat. I have shown him before. He is a green cat, so he's much, much darker here. And then he fades down. You can see my hand going through that it has bits of clear. And look, that is the stumpiest cattail I have ever seen in my life. So it is a very weird little glass cat. He is a hand-blown piece. There is a big, messy pontal. Oh, she wants to know how much was the pink glass butter. Here, let's deal with that.
The candy dish or the pink dish from the very beginning. The napkin.
I just tapped something. I have no idea what I did. There we go.
This one?
There we go. So you're big. Oh, I can see much better now, though.
This one was $10. It was number 8.
Or if you wanted the other one, the really pretty peachy one, that peachy pink one.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Is that there too? They're gorgeous, though. Gorgeous.
Okay.
Nope, not that one.
This one was 20. And that was number 3 on that candy dish. Those are my pinklins.
Let her know, because don't forget, Claudia's got a trick-or-treat game too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait a few seconds there. Oh, okay, thank you. All right. All righty. Okie dokie. So my kitty cat, he is, how tall? And he is, like I said, his hand blown is a very messy, messy, messy pontal mark. Now, I don't know if this was somebody trying to do something and it was an epic fail. Or if it's meant to be this way. It's 5 inches tall. But I'm telling you, he is the derpiest cat I've ever seen. He's got little eyes. He's got his little kitty cat nose here. But just a very, he's been through some things. Let's just say that. So if you're interested in my little green cat, he's going to be just $8, number 87. $8, number 87 on this bad boy. Like I said, he's weird. Now back to some Indiana glass. So I have a set of 6. I have 6 of these. I'm not going to show you all 6. They're all in the exact same condition. There's no condition issues with them. But unless I do like this, I for my waitressing days, I'm not going to be able to show you all 6. And he is adorable cat. There's just something quirky about him that I got to love him. So this is the smaller version. This is the 4 ounce. This is the Colony Park Lane set. These were very, very popular in the 70s. They did plates, but the goblets are a lot more known. And it has this square base. Claudia and I were saying we love the round with the square. And they're just cute little, water goblets. I love this color teal. Oh, 87. I'll come right back to you, Maggie. Yes, I will. 87 for Maggie V. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie.
And hi, Maggie.
You get to pick. Here, we'll hold up a couple of cards. Pick a number. You got number 1. We've got number 2. We've got number 4. And we've got number 5. And last but not least, number 6. So pick a number and we'll see if you get a trick or treat. Trick or treat. So like I was saying, these little guys, and I'll go back to someone's while Mag is, figuring out what number she wants. High 5. Oh, that was quick. She got the good internet. I don't have the good internet. Okay, number 5. And it is, it's a trick. Oh, no. That means there's more treats left in there than tricks because we've had 2 tricks already. Okay. So, my glasses here. Set of 6. Little guys, teal blue. And for all 6 of them, they're going to be just $25, number 90. $25, number 90 for the set of 6 glasses. And those are my 2. Okay, let me Claudia, but you still get the picture. I still send the picture. That's the trick. It's a fun little game.
This is another choice one. They're going to be $8. So you get the set Indiana glass. These were their candlestick or vase. That's how they marketed these. So they're hollow all the way down. So you can put a candlestick in there, or it's a bud vase. And these are 7 inches tall. And it's interesting because they made these in that color of glasses that Nikki just showed you.
Oh, I love that color.
The clear ones, though.
I like that they're vases, though, too.
Yeah. So choice of this set or the amber. This was tiara glass, but this was tiara glass made by the Indiana Glass Company. This was their sandwich.
It's a big taco holder.
Yes. Big taco.
I love it. Big taco holder.
You can use it for your meal. You can use it for napkins. My mom would like this in clear, although I don't think they made it in clear because I've searched everywhere. You know, my mom loves clear glass. I love the detail on the bottom. They put that flower right there on the bottom. So it's this size. So this is $8, or the pair of candlesticks is $8. Number 13. Number 13 on those. And then my last two, you guys have seen these before. I've marked them down. So they are going to be $6 choice of either the turtle or the kitty. Turtle and kitty, the votive holders. We know them. We love them. They made them in the 90s. They were super popular then. I actually owned this one. Not this particular one, but this shape one in the 90s. Bought new at Kmart because I worked at Kmart up until 1990. I worked at Kmart. I quit my senior year because I had too many days I had to call off for between prom and senior trip and
yeah.
$6, number one choice.
Oh, that's a good price to get both of them.
That was all of mine.
All right, last trivia question. One particular serial killer inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and Silence of the Lambs. Who was it? While I switch back over to Miss Claudia. Number one, she wants the cat.
Okay, let me write
now
that.
She gets why. I like that kitsch, yes. Fancy Taco Tuesday, absolutely.
And it's been a while since you purchased, so can you resend your info? Pirate Ship's been dropping people out who have not purchased in a while, and then I can't find the info.
And Angela won the right answer on that one. It is Ed Gein. If you don't know who he is a really creepy serial killer.
So, all right. B or X? B or X?
So this is Miss Kitty, Mr. Hedgehog. Pick a letter.
Boy, Angela knew the most today. She's so smart.
I would have been very surprised did she not know all that many. So, Kitty, Mr. Hedgehog, you get to pick a letter to win a trick-or-treat prize.
And that's Kathleen, right? Kitty, Mr. Hedgehog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the season of the witch. That's right. It's the season of the witch. It's my season, too. I like to have fun during this season. Oh. Oh, did we lose her? Did we lose her?
I don't know.
Oh, no. Paging Kitty. Paging Kitty, Mr. Hedgehog. Whenever they would do that at Kmart, you could never, ever. Can I pick for her? Look at it. You go, Gilbert. It's a fun game. I had seen it on. Okay. Oh, there she is.
So X is treat. So you get to pick. I have brooches. So I've got blue flowered. I've got blue heart with flowers. I've got butterfly. I've got this purple flower. Rhinestones.
Ooh.
Leaves. So you just holler when you see one you like. Parrot. Fern. Kind of. This one with purple stones. That one's really pretty.
That one is really pretty.
And then balloons. So which brooch would you like? And I can watch the chat. We can move on to you.
All right, let's do the last one. This is the last round. No, don't block me. No, don't block me. There we go. The purple one, please.
Purple. All right.
Okay, my last two pieces are Indiana. I have this. I have to get that off there. It was another sticker residue. I thought I got it all off. So quilted pattern milk compote. Well, actually, I guess it's kind of like a rose bowl on a big, huge pedestal. It could be an ivy bowl as well. Has these nice little divots in here. But a really nice piece, kind of on the tall side, not as tall as the next piece. This guy is 9 inches. This is Indiana. It does need a really good bath. And I will give it a really good bath before I send it home to you. No condition issues with it at all. And if you're interested in the milk glass compote, sorry, my ring light's blowing that out. It'll be $18, number 89. $18, number 89 for that piece. And this is the black and white round because I like these pieces next to each other. Here we go. Indiana stretch base, black glass, 12 inches from bottom to top. No condition issues with it. It's got the sawtooth hanging out there up at the tippy top, and they're all there. It's the rounded, this is the more rounded though, soft, not the sharpness. And if you're interested in this guy here, he's going to be $15, number 91. Not that you can see it. I tried. I was like, oh, I'm going to make it all creepy and you know, have everything off except for the one light, and it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. So $15, number 91 on that one. There, because it just like look, it disappears. Can you see it? You can't even see it. Sorry about that. Oh, I tapped some dang button. I have no idea what I did. I tapped some button. You gotta love that. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Hello, everyone.
Happy Halloween. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. So much fun.
Today was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you found it informative and fun because it's what these days are all about, having a little fun too, you know. Go put your costumes on, take pictures, post them on Instagram. I want to see everyone's Halloween costume if you're wearing one. Even if it's a t-shirt, this is my Halloween costume. I still love that.
And I got to wear 2 this year because yesterday I was a pink flamingo and today I'm a pink unicorn.
I'm glad everybody really liked it. And we got a couple more holidays coming up. So we'll come up with some other little fun things for the Thanksgiving special and the Christmas special. So make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah,
I know
fun stuff.
I'm tapping mine, Kitty. That's what I'm doing. I'm a little itchy. I'm just like tap, 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 tap.
Well, I did. You can't, my glasses cover it, but I did. Look at my unicorn eyes.
Oh, no, they're so pretty. And you even have the pink hair. It was great.
You don't get to see them with my glasses on, but
yes. I hope everybody has a very fun, safe Halloween. Have fun. Give candy to everybody. We talked about it. Give everybody candy. Give them a couple pieces of candy. You know what? They've earned it. We've been locked up. They haven't really got to do the Halloween and COVID. And yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Kitty. Give us a thumbs up, guys. We appreciate it.
And make sure that you are still subscribed to Nikki. We are here on Nikki's channel this week, and make sure you're still subscribed because sometimes YouTube is like, nah, we're going to unsubscribe 5 minutes from you for no reason.
What do you have coming up this week?
I have my regular Wednesday morning sale, and I'm going to be on with Aaron Proctor on Saturday night with Picasso Cat. It's his 1-year anniversary. 1 year ago this Saturday, Picasso Cat and I were on with him then. So
Awesome.
That's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
so
Make
much
sure check
fun.
that out. Yes. And I've got my regular Tuesday and Wednesday over on Whatnot. This week I'm doing smalls, like glass smalls, and another cottage course sale because I had realized I got a whole bunch more stuff that I gotta sell this cottage quarry. New stuff, new stuff. So that should be fun. And they're at 3 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday and Wednesday over on Whatnot. So that's what we got going over. I got candy too. Always buy extra candy because then at the end of the night you get to eat it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good word.
Thank you guys. I'm so glad everybody liked it. And you know what, everybody, have a really fun day today. Enjoy yourselves. And we'll see you next week, same time.
Christmas starts tomorrow.
I know. Christmas does start tomorrow, doesn't it? Forget about All Saints Day. It's Christmas tomorrow. And don't forget, next week we're over on Claudia's channel. So everyone have a great week.